Trial 2020 was created in the year 2013 on the feeling that the year 2020 was going to be a negative year, a prophetic year, a year of omens. 160 years after the inauguration of Abraham Lincoln and the Civil War, which followed. And 2020 turned out to be just that. The key line in the episodic Trial 2020 is we have to have a definition of right and wrong, or we have anarchy.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and the republic for which it stands,
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation under God,
and indivisible with liberty
and justice for all.
Judge Boomer Graham. Good morning. Who I am is not important. There are several people that appreciate the way that the bench is addressing issues.
I'm honored.
You're being considered for the appellate court.
But I thought appointments to the appellate court were by the president.
What makes you think you were wrong?
Hello? Hello?
Tanner, can you please tell the class what you think helps Americans behave towards one another?
The police.
Jeremy, did we learn anything else?
The court.
And how do you think the court does it?
They hear both sides of the story and try to fix it for both sides.
Life's a foolish game. Do you ever feel the same?
So, have you seen today's headline, Congressman?
What's up?
I thought that since you won your seat with the middle-aged voters in this district, you might want to go to bat for them.
What on earth are you talking about? Yeah, well, what do you want me to do? Tell grown adults what to do?
What are you talking about? Sponsor a bill that sets an age limit.
Like I said, want me to tell grown adults what to do? I have a plane to catch to Washington. See you in 4 days.
Close the floor. There you go. Good, champ. Good. Keep it going.
There's blood. Yes, there is blood above the left eye of Parente.
Takagi's been landing several solid blows.
Big left by Parente, and Takagi is down. He is.
What about Small's protege, Parente?
Tough fight. Parente got a break.
Any anxiety in the O'Brien camp over the upcoming showdown in New York?
Not at all. Our guys are gonna win.
Yeah, 7. 7. From 8, 5, 2, F, 7, 3, 8, on, check, and make.
Judge? Judge?
Yes, Miss Anne.
I have your morning report of potential cases to the court.
Thank you, Pam.
Is the health of your fighter a risk, Mr. O'Brien?
Well, I specialize in MMA, but I've got a fighter. He's ready to go. No problems.
The Smalls guy, he's going to fight the champ.
Smalls thinks he has a guy that can fight my champion. You tell him to bring it. My guy is ready to go.
There you have it. The fight is on. I'm Caitlin Bourgeois, 1000 Ton TV, here with Jimmy Sticks O'Brien.
Welcome to the main event of the evening.
Judge Boo McGrath. Good morning. Who I am is not important. There are several people that appreciate the way that the bench is addressing issues.
I'm honored.
You're being considered for the appellate court.
But I thought appointments to the appellate court were by the president.
What makes you think you were wrong?
Hello? Hello?
How does my flower look?
It looks fine.
You hardly looked at me.
Honey, you look beautiful.
Well, you don't. Pull these pants up a bit more. What's with the crooked bow tie? Why are you so nervous?
I'm nervous. What are you talking about?
Yes, you are. You've been twitching and twittering all morning.
Look, I'm not nervous. I've just never been married before.
I've never been married either. What makes you so special? You know, if only men would take the time to know what women are feeling.
Feelings? You want to talk about feelings? Who didn't pick me up from Kennedy Airport or call me for 6 months?
Oh, well, it didn't take you long to hook up with your old girlfriend who lives in Texas, though, did it?
What was I supposed to do? Sit at the airport for 6 months waiting for you to tell me what was bothering you? Women want men to be mind readers.
Mind readers, right. Well, it didn't take you long to pick someone else's mind to read, did it?
Look, I told you. We lived in the same apartment building in Houston.
Same apartment building. How do I know it wasn't the same apartment, for that matter?
Do you really want to get into this again?
Yeah, I think...
Good morning. Mr. McClellan? Miss Chadsworth?
Yes.
Yes.
We've got about 3 or 4 minutes, and I just want to take some time to counsel those about ready to throw in the towel. It's a figure of speech from my other profession. I'm a professional boxing referee.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen you before. The Parenti Tagagi fight.
Yeah, they definitely threw some punches. Now listen, if you guys don't want to throw any punches, just follow these 3 simple rules. Sometimes you say yeah, sometimes you say no. Sometimes you say nothing at all. Listen, forget the past. It's gone. It's not even worth it. It's useless. That is unless.
Unless what?
Unless you can't forget the past. Okay? Let's get you guys married.
Who is this? What? Yes?
Neely McClellan.
Yes?
Police Department, we need to speak with you.
Yeah, sure, come on in.
I'm Officer Adams. This is my partner, Detective Kennedy.
Yes? How can I help you, gentlemen? What's this?
You've been charged with the crime of bigamy.
Bigamy? What?
Yes, bigamy is a felony. We're informing you that you can voluntarily come with us to the station for processing right now, or you must report on your own by 2 p.m.
What's going on?
Bigamy? But I've only been married once.
Well, maybe more complicated than that.
More complicated than what?
Did you live in Houston, Texas for 7 months?
For 6 months.
Did you know a lady by the name of Blanche Anderson?
Blanche Anderson, are you kidding me?
Okay, my partner and I will give you time for a little coffee, maybe a Xanax. But we do need you, Mr. McClellan, to report into Center Street by 2 p.m. today. Understood?
I would advise you not to be late.
You wanker!
All rise. The Honorable Judge Rhonda Sanchez presiding.
Please be seated. I appreciate everyone's willingness to participate in this auxiliary court today. As you know, the district court is still being remodeled. This is the trial of the United States versus Nellie McClelland. May the record reflect that the federal government is represented by United States Associate Attorney Johnny Wood, while Mr. McClelland is present with his attorney, Mitchell McLaughlin. Mr. McClelland, you have been charged with the crime of bigamy. That means the state must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you knowingly got married while a prior marriage was still valid. In a prior hearing before this court, you indicated your desire to waive your right to a jury trial and proceed with a court trial. Is that still your intent today?
Your Honor, yes it is.
Counsel, any other matters before we proceed?
Yes, Your Honor. We request that the court reconsider the defendant's motion to dismiss.
Denied. Mr. Wood, anything before we begin?
Yes, Your Honor. We are prepared to prove that the prior Texas marriage is valid. Now, the state of Texas requires 3 elements to establish common law marriage. First, that the parties voluntarily consent to be married. The second is that the parties must have lived together at the conception of marriage. And third, that the parties hold themselves out as being married. We are prepared to prove each and every element existed at the time of the case.
Yes, counsel. As previously agreed, both counsel are waiving their right to an opening statement. Mr. Wood, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. We call to the stand Mrs. Blanche Anderson.
Hello, Miss Anderson.
Hi.
So now you've testified that you lived at 14400 Bering Drive in Houston, Texas during the same time as my client, Ms. McClellan, did. Is that correct?
That's correct.
However, he lived in Unit 304 while you resided in Unit 204.
Yeah, it was a duplex. It had a shared door.
Ah, yes, the shared door. I was coming to that. This door did have a lock, correct?
Oh, yes.
Thank you. No more questions.
Redirect, Mr. Wood.
Mrs. Anderson, was this door ever locked?
No.
Objection, Your Honor. The video that was submitted earlier into evidence does not show my client, Mr. McClellan, or for that matter, Miss Anderson, 100% of the time.
Well, yes, Your Honor. We do plan to get to that issue. But the spirit of the matter is that the videotape clearly shows Mr. McClellan entering and exiting, at times with no use of a key.
Overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, how often did Mr. McClellan smoke?
He would go to his unit about once a week.
I mean, how often did he come to the unit that both shared?
Oh, well, he never left. We lived together. Occasionally, he would go to his unit to pick up some stuff, though.
Well, so was there a separate bed for Mr. McClellan?
No.
Well, let me back up a little bit. How many bedrooms were in the apartment?
It was a studio.
Meaning?
There was only one bed.
Well, then, Mr. McClellan slept on the couch.
Objection.
Overruled.
No. No.
Well, Mrs. Anderson, where did Mr. McClellan sleep?
In bed? With me.
Oh, I see. I think that clarifies things. Thank you. Your Honor, I have no further questions.
Miss Anderson claims that she and Mr. McClellan announced that they were getting married. Prosecution has shown videos of this. However, we have shown that they were drinking heavily at a friend's birthday party. Mr. McClellan was not serious, Your Honor. Also, Miss Anderson claims that they lived together. She actually secretly videotaped the ongoings in her own unit. We have no way of knowing if this videotape was edited because there was no chain of custody to follow. And lastly, Mr. McClellan paid for his own unit. Not one dime went to Miss Anderson's. We have shown that Miss Anderson may have a financial motivation for bringing about this action. That is all. Thank you, Your Honor.
Congresswoman, Judge Rhonda Sanchez has struck down common law marriage as marriage.
That decision is going to send shockwaves through American jurisprudence.
How is that?
Basically, the judge stepped out into a major intersection of American law and said, stop. You're not married in a ceremony, then you're not married.
But the United States has already said that, correct? Common law marriage is not recognized here.
The judge took a blowhorn and made it official.
The nation of Canada is following this case for certain reasons.
Canadian businesses have been calling me from both Nova Scotia and Ontario, inquiring about the status of their dual citizenship residents and the tax status of certain transactions.
What does this mean?
The implication could be hundreds of millions of dollars. We have a storm coming.